Hello, my stream.
You wish. Hello, folks. Yes, I've got the hair girl in with me today.
You brought hairbrushes, so I'm having fun.
Did you use... Kind of pointless, innit?
Good boy.
Did you just call me a good boy?
Why is it teddy bear fur?
I want to... Why is there teddy bear fur in your hair?
Yeah, same with you.
Probably because, yeah, you've used the brush I was using to brush the teddy bear fur.
No, that one's hair.
No.
Look at it.
I used them all.
Mine now.
Good. There's now. Hello, hello, hello. How are we all? It is 7:30 on a Thursday, which means we're in the studio as promised. I've got the girl with me.
Hello.
Yeah, I have managed to get us a load of hairbrushes.
Which will soon be mine.
Don't take the... Yeah, and we have teddy bear fur. That's getting everywhere.
He killed my bear.
I did not kill your bear.
Big bear.
Okay, I may have killed one of the bears. Long time ago. Right, I see people chatting. Oh. Apparently my stats are telling me that there's only 3 people watching. And yeah, there's more than that in the actual chat room.
Me, you, and my friend.
And your friends.
My friends. That's it, I don't have any friends.
Right, we are brushing. Okay?
My hair.
Not your hair. Teddy bear fur. So the plan for tonight is I'm going to start filming the, the terrain lab for the teddy bear fur. And as such, we have teddy bear fur.
Oh.
Do you want to brush that one? I'll brush this one. I'll brush these up.
I'm going to get a different hairbrush because this is officially mine.
Are you nicking that one?
Yeah.
Alright. She's having that one apparently.
So are we brushing it like oddly or just down?
Go in all the directions. So brush it one way, then spin it 90 degrees and brush it the other. Lots will come off. Hey guys, right, so if you've got any terrain questions for me, there is no dot tonight. Yeah, what we do is we handle it simply in the chat. If I miss your question, just post it again and make sure you throw a few question marks at the front of it. Helps me spot them so they're not missed. Now, at the minute we're just brushing teddy bear fur.
Bit of a weird show.
It's always a weird show on a Thursday, because you never know what I'm going to be doing.
Well, I'm not there, so it's obviously going to be less weird.
Are you saying you're weird?
Yeah.
Alright, you have a go at brushing that one.
Yeah.
I'll brush this one.
Fluffy.
Fluffy. So, working through the teddy bear fur, we've had a lot of requests. I'm glad they skinned the bears off camera. This is actually from a sheet that I bought, isn't it, Wills?
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. We have a big bag of big bear fur, and I'm upset with you, father.
A father. I'm father now.
You good boy, father.
That's you doing teddy bear fur. Yeah. Just keep brushing it. And when you're doing teddy bear fur, I've been doing a lot of research on it and reading it up. Sammy Scenics is a good page on Facebook. He does a lot with teddy bear fur. On top of that, obviously, there's David Slibbley, with no one can pronounce his second name.
Slytherin.
No, he's got like a, I think it's a Polish or Russian name.
Yoink.
It looks Slovakian. Well, not Slovakian, but there's a term to represent that region.
Yeah. The language where Dom is.
Oh, do you want to do me a favour?
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Go
Will you nip
with
downstairs to Fred? Yeah?
Yeah.
And ask him if he'd like, if he'd like a lift home tonight.
Okay then.
You know where he is, don't you?
Yeah.
Alright, just nip down, knock on his door and just say, my dad wants to know if you want a lift home. Tell him I'll be finishing up about 9ish.
Okay.
Fred's downstairs working on some watercolours, so he normally finishes the same time as the live stream, so he's on my way. I might as well drop him at home. Right, Different Gear TV's got a question for me. Hi Mel, can I ask a question quickly? Go on then. What's the best option for sealing an MDF board prior to painting? I have an oil-based wood primer, PVA, also acrylic fixer or sealer. You can give it a soak with watered down PVA, that'll seal it. Okay, I'm reluctant to use an oil-based primer on wood. When you hit it with the acrylics, there's a chance that it could reactivate the oil, and oil primers take a long time to to soak. Spray primer works, just a paint, but just a coat of house paint. Yeah, I mean, when you're sealing MDF, all you've really got to do is just get some pigment and something that sets into it, and house paint will soak in, it'll seal. So that's my recommendation, mate. House paint first. Say again? What's he say?
Yeah.
Brilliant. What's he say? You come up a little bit as he gets close.
No, I just said, come grab me at 9.
All right, that works. Look at all the teddy bear fur I'm getting. Do you know why? Because you're brushing them after I've brushed them. That is a teddy fur. It is fur toupee.
Dad's finally got hair.
We're going to make a great wall.
Great.
Oops, got a bit political there. Shouldn't do that.
Yeah, never go political on a live stream.
Never go political on a live stream.
No, Boris is watching.
Did you know that Boris's dad, when he was once asked on TV, what he reckoned made his son so popular, and he replied, his amazing, wonderful hair.
What?
Yeah, genuinely. Oh, hey ho.
I thought Donald Trump had a love for his hair.
Well, there's a lot of men who have love for their hair. I mean, your dad just...
Lost his all.
Your dad felt no need to replace it.
Did you know my dad was blonde?
Looking for pipes that bend 90 degrees and are not bendy straws but have the same scale as regular straws. PV pipes are a bit too big to add to tin can water tower. Okay, what you want to look for, mate, is go on site and have a look for straw connectors. There's a pack that appears very regularly on the terrainiacs, and it's a kids pack, and it's a lot of T-junctions and corners. Just a pack of them to fit straws, so kids can get straws and make crazy straws, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we have a box of them in my primary school, but I'm not there anymore.
I wish I'd known that. I'd have told you. No, I wouldn't have told you that. Yeah. But if you get those connectors, someone in the Terrainiacs chat, can you, if you know what I'm talking about, can someone throw up a link or throw up, a description of the product title? But it's a pack of straw connectors. Children's toy straw connectors. Yeah, they will work perfectly for what you're looking for, buddy. I should get some of those, shouldn't I?
Come to Warrington, we'll give you loads.
Have you got loads?
Yeah, they have a supply cupboard of things they don't want. There's a shelf of them.
Wish I'd known that. How are you doing?
Good.
Right, do me a favour. Swap brush.
Okay.
Try that one. See if that one pulls more hair out. No, you've got to keep going. Two strokes won't do it, but what we want to do is figure out... What we want to do is, out of these brushes, we want to figure out what's the best.
Well, can I use the comb then?
Well, work that brush first, see if that makes a difference compared to that. Right, with golden power, delight and deliciousness. Yes, same. The Red Baron, Attack of the Dead Man, as well as a Bismarck. Were you lot on films again? Right, as you can see, my teddy bear has turned off. Thank you, folks. Calls. Massive thank you to the live streamers, for helping make this happen. Just need my dies now, and we've got absolutely everything we need for the for the teddy bear one. So hopefully this show will pick up about target for this show. Let's just make it simple 20. That'll get the dies. And then I'll have everything, and then hopefully we can finish it off next week, out the week after.
Wait, Dad?
Are you from the Midlands of England? Yes, I am. Literally slap bang in the Midlands.
Where am
Although
I from?
it depends. Yeah, because the Midlands of England depends on whether you're from the North, the Midlands, or the South, on where the actual Midlands of England is. I mean, apparently, if you live in London, anything outside the M25 is the North.
Wait, did I come from the Midlands?
No, you came from what you call it? You were Shrewsbury. So yeah, technically the Midlands. Your brother was born in a proper Midlands hospital. He was a Brummie baby. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, so these are taking more out than that
Nah, I
one.
just took it out of there. On the perfect time.
Talking Sabaton and their songs. Right, okay. Hey, Tam. I have a fudge, wall, bunkers and defensive line. Should I put those on bases? If so, what material for the bases? Either MDF or expanded EPVC, mate, for your basing. But if you've got the trench line, you really want to embed it in some foam. Do it proper. Right.
I would think we have more fur in my hair than we do on any of these.
Do you reckon?
Yes.
I'm not going to argue with that.
I used to brush a bit
I used
before
to
we
live
started.
but I wish I'd known Mel before I moved to the US. Would have visited. Hey ho. David Cooper. Mel, what would you use in the likes of statues for age? Using the likes of statues. Ask your question again, mate. Not sure about that one, Dave. No, you came from the whatchamacallit.
Yeah, it came from a whatchamacallit bar. Makes sense.
You ate all my whatchamacallit bars, didn't you?
I don't like them.
Good. Could you have not discovered that before you ate them all?
No.
Right. So really I need to film this.
So we got that
Are you going to
camera.
use brains to tan the fur? I might do. Depends if there's any in there.
Same for you.
Ooh.
I don't even think I need to say
The only brushing I do, to be honest, is when it's covered in PVA glue and I'm creating the look of a thatched roof. Yeah, that's my normal stuff.
Just like some teddy bear fur.
Really?
I love my fingers turning into cherry.
Right. Okay. So guys, yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, if you've got any questions, anything like that, yeah, ask your questions on the stream. If you're enjoying the stream, links down below. Yeah, we'll get those dies so we can finish this off. I don't think I've had anything as yet, so I'm not even going to check.
Good boy.
Right, so I need to film a terrain lab. We should check with combs on these first, shouldn't we? So if I have one comb and you have another.
Okay. I get a comb.
Grab
I call one like Corbyn's comb.
You're having a Corbin comb, are you?
I'm having a Corbyn comb.
I'll have a long comb then.
Corbyn always keeps a comb in his pocket.
Combs are not the best for these, are they?
No.
No.
Well, if we got combs, Corbyn will be happy. Actually, they are a bit.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Don't knacker it, darling. Don't pull them out unnecessarily. You're supposed to be combing off the excess.
Oh. Wow.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to do all these again.
I think combs aren't the right ones to go for. Might be better applying the paint.
Actually, maybe. Dad, watch. If you do little ones like this, then you get a lot.
All right then. But how's that compared to a normal one?
Well, let's get. Here we go.
See, I seem to be getting a lot more with this. Perhaps go through it with this.
And then do the little comb with excess.
Yeah. And then run a small comb through it to take the excess. Seems to work best. Right. We've learned something already. You need a wide tooth comb. Alright, we've got a wide tooth comb here. Let's try that. No, makes no... In fact, it's worse. It just glides through and doesn't actually pick and scrape any of the details out. So no, wide tooth comb.
This is actually better, Dad.
Yeah. Right, so. If you're looking for snow vids, then you want the on the channel. You want the playlist that's called Terrain Techniques, Water, Snow and Lava. Is it?
Why did you do lava and one about water and snow?
Because they're sort of wet effects.
Oh, okay.
Although lava isn't wet. But yeah, go and have a look at what you call it. Go and have a look at terrain techniques, water, snow, and lava. That's all right, actually, isn't it? Okay. Right, I need to set up a camera.
There's one right there.
No, I need to watch her set up my mobile. You see the state of me.
Teddy bear.
State of you.
I have more teddy bear fur on my legs than we were meant to get off.
Well, as long as it's not on the teddy bear fur, we're on a winner. Right.
Oh, wait, what if it's in my mouth?
Well, that's silly then, isn't it?
Yeah, but what if I ate it like I ate my Cheerios?
Why comb when you're spreading the paint, Mel? Right.
Because that'll distribute it and give you an even layer.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Let's give it a go then. Right, I need to set this up for filming. Hello, hello, hello. Quick check. That. I think someone may have. Talk Jay, thank you, buddy.
Is he in the chat?
I don't know.
Talk Jay, say something if you're in the chat.
Yeah, Talk Jay. I don't know if it's during the live stream, but a nugget sent, so thank you, buddy. Right. Teddy bear fur all over my phone now. It's everywhere.
You should not have bought one that like molts like Aussie.
Malta like Aussie. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Right.
Daddy, it's big.
Yes, that's not bad.
Oh, Dad. I'm gonna need to comb you a little bit.
No, don't. Not with all that stuff. It'll be in my hair and everywhere.
It is in your hair. I'm trying to get it out with this.
I don't want it in my hair.
That's why I'm trying to get it out. Father and daughter bonding.
Father and daughter bloody bonding. You trouble you are. I'd say you've done a good job on that.
I've been on this one for like 15 minutes.
You can make a wig of all that hair. You certainly could.
Yes, we could.
Thanks for the help. Tried making a statue out of clay and it ended up looking like Bert from the trapdoor. He was great. Stop it and shut up. What was it? Shut up and stop it.
I don't know.
Right, we need to do some bits with paint. Yes, we're going to get messy. So you need to push your chair back so I can get in there.
Okay, Father.
Right, remember that I'm recording.
This did pretty good.
Yeah, so let's get our brushes because we're going to need to talk about these.
And then a comb.
And then a comb. But right, guys, I'm just going to do a quick bit of recording. Yeah, and then we'll crack on. Move those out. Right, I better get started. So, the intro will have been done. Yeah. So, is that recording?
Why are you recording during a live stream?
Because as I'm doing pottery and doing train labs, I do duck. So did you just jump in? You did, didn't you? Trouble. So we're starting off with our fake fur, our teddy bear fur. Now the first thing that you've got to do with this sort of stuff, all the recommendations are you've got to brush all the excess fur out. And so for that, yeah, me and my little daughter Willow, we have been busy brushing, haven't we, darling?
Yes.
Right, you need to come back round this side because the microphone's pointing this way. Right, shall we start again?
Yes.
Children, Okay, we will keep ourselves amused. I know you will.
Amused, Father.
Amused. Right. Second take. So we're starting off with our teddy bear fur, okay? And we've cut it into squares so I can have a bit of a play with it. Now, all the advice that I've found so far is before you start to do any sort of painting technique, you need to remove any sort of loose fibres from it. Otherwise, they're just going to get sort of in your brush, in your paint, all over the place and then stick. And it just makes it messy. So, yeah, what we've done is we've been busy... Yeah, brushing and combing various bits of fur, haven't we? Mm-hmm. Now, I've got Willow with me. So, Wills, what's the best advice we've discovered so far for combing? What would you say?
You use this first, then this.
So, use the tangle brush first. So, if we get... So, if I do this, use the tangle brush first. Yeah, just to remove the excess of the foam.
What if we did an experiment like I do this first and then that, and then you do that first and then this?
No, let's do it this way because we've already done that experiment. Yeah, so very quickly brush down. You can see how much I've got off there. Right, now with the actual comb itself. Let's see. Step aside so they can see what you're doing, darling. Yeah, and how much have you got? You've got that much, have you? Right, so that's the first task, to get off the excess foam. Yeah.
And then
now with that done, yeah, I'm going to go get some paints. We're going to get ready and we're going to start trying to put a bit of paint on here. Right, let's crack on.
Can I shake it?
1 second, let me pause it.
Because shaking it will...
You reckon shaking it will do something, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll fill my studio full of air. Stop it.
Oh, smog.
Statues. Oh, they're talking statues. Right. On to the more interesting stuff. Let's go cameras down for this one. Yeah, and angle it round like that. Yeah, so you got a decent enough picture of it. Right. So, our very first job.
Can I do this as well?
Yes, you can get messy with me as well, but let's have a play. Right.
Wait, wouldn't it be easier to use your hands instead of a paintbrush? Because a paintbrush would...
No, apparently you're supposed to comb it and brush it through. So we're going to have a little play. Okay?
Okay then. I could give them my little comb. My little comb.
Right. So, I'm recording. Trouble. Did it again with the paint. Looked much better. I've used an old He-Man Master of the Universe figure as a statue. Sprayed it with a stone text spray. Looked terrible. Right. Okay, right. I need to start recording again. Okay, so we've worked through, we've brushed all our pieces of foam, and it's time to start having a play with paint. Now, every time I've played with teddy bear fur in the past, I've always been saturating it with watered down PVA because I've been using it to make thatch roofs. So, soak it with PVA, give it a bit of a stipple with some filler, mess around with some combs, get the striations and that sort of stuff, and it works quite well. Applying paint is something completely different. Now, when you do this, everything says that less is more. Do you know what that means?
Less paint means more mess.
We'll have to see. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a bit of paint onto that.
Okay, drop some on.
And that is acrylics, what do you call it, sap green. And Willow wants some paint dropped on hers.
Yes.
Yeah, all right?
Yes, I do, Father.
Yes, you do. Okay.
See? Less is more messy.
Right, there you are. There's some spots for you.
Yay, I got spots.
Now, and all we're going to do now is dead simple. Yeah, we're going to have a go at brushing it through, combing it through.
Oh,
see, that's quite heavy, isn't it?
You will need a lot of this and it'll all stick together.
Just keep brushing it all different directions. Let's see what we can do with it. Now it is staining it, but it's quite thick. A lot thicker on the patch than I was expecting.
And when that dries, that'll all come together.
But you can brush it out though. Look. Okay, see the green coming off there? Look at that. See how the clump has gone right bang in the centre and we're spreading it out? Yeah. So we are grabbing the paint from the centre, but that does give it a concentration. I mean, it's going a lovely colour. Yeah, but where it's really thick, it's a bit of a problem.
I need a hairbrush.
You need a hairbrush. Do you want to try that one?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll try this comb. You see, it's not getting rid of the bits in the middle, and I've got to be careful because I want this actually fluffed up, not laid flat. That's alright actually, isn't it? As you start working it out.
Unlike mine.
Yeah, so. There we are. That's what we've got. Okay, now you can. I've managed to pull it out. I mean, it's still quite a bit damp in the centre there.
Here's mine.
That's quite good, Wills. You've still got the concentrations in the centre where those blobs went down, haven't you?
Yeah, but I've been using a comb. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can feel the wet in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. So, right. If you want Pastor Rose, you use hair razor prior to painting. Yeah, I've seen that. Melting something with aerosols is a rite of passage in the hobby. No worries. Tiny little drops, not blobs, Cat's saying. Tiny little drops.
But why did you put little drops on the thing?
I think what you call it. Well, okay, let's follow Cat's advice. Yeah.
Well, Dad, can I try one where you put the little dots on the end of them?
You want to put it on the comb?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll put some paint on here and you can dip a comb in.
Okay then.
Yeah, you're going to have to go wash those brushes afterwards.
I know.
Yeah, so let's put our paint on there this time. Yeah? And then what we're going to do...
Father's going to do little dots and I'm going to...
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Go on.
Yoink.
Right. Oh, that's clever. Right, let me just film this bit.
No.
So, just let me speak.
Sorry.
So we've done our first bit, yeah, and we've got really good coverage, but putting it on a blob, so it was just too concentrated, yeah, and I ended up spreading it out. So, Kat in the chat has suggested that we do tiny little blobs all over the place, rather than a couple of big blobs. Yeah, Willow is having a play with a comb there, and that is not working at all. See if you can brush it out. Yeah, and so what I'm going to do, yeah, is I'm going to get a paint on this, and I'm just going to dab it all over it in little places. Yeah, this will reduce the amount of paint, I'm hoping. Yeah, and allow us to spread it out a bit more evenly.
It is actually working a bit.
You keep going then. Right, so there's our spots, and it's time to just brush it out, see what we get from it. Really?
Yeah.
Alright then. Right, so, got my brush. I don't know if this is... Right, so
It doesn't
straight
look
away...
as efficient.
Well, it is spreading it out, but it is very patchy. Yeah, so we keep pulling along here. I'm just going to keep playing with this and see what we get.
Father.
That's actually quite good.
You
Alright, let's try a comb.
just need painting an IQ higher than 100.
So, little dots are easier to blend, but they don't have the coverage. And that's what I've got so far. Do you see how it's really spotty? So let's try adding some more spots in. I'm going to place these specifically in gaps. We'll see how this works.
And this is mine so far.
That's quite saturated though. It needs to be fluffy as well, so you're going to have to back comb it.
Okay then.
Oh my. I think I'm going to need to visit him and show him. Do a few drops, then brush. Try not to wait so long so it absorbs it and it starts to dry. Right, okay, so.
New piece of fur.
It's drop, spread, drop, spread. I mean, it is spreading.
Willow's idea is smarter.
How much paint are you putting on that?
Enough.
Yeah, you are working all over the place when it's like this. So.
We got the Grinch.
Got the Grinch. Right. So, much like Kat's pointed out, yeah, spotting does go on better, yeah, but
it looks like a leopard.
It hasn't got the coverage that we had when we dropped it down with a large blob. Have you used all that acrylic on that?
You need a lot of acrylic for a cow.
Would it work if you soak the fur in dye? Yes, it would, but we're playing around with acrylics at the minute. Dyes is the next part.
Because where is it?
Right. What are you doing?
Don't even know.
You don't, do you? Right, let's try again then.
I
Okay.
never thought I'd be putting green acrylic paint into a bear that we killed.
We didn't kill this bear.
Do not lie, Father.
Right, so, starting again.
I'm going to come back to the other one to see
Yeah.
what's happened.
What we're going to do is... That's still recording? Yeah.
What else?
Wait
Like-
1 second. I need to follow this up. So that's our attempts with doing the spots. Now, it's spread out, we've got less clumping, but it hasn't got the coverage that our original one had, where we put it down in quite a large clump. And so I think it's a bit of an experiment of finding a balance.
Wait, Dad, what if you did like big clumps on the outside and small on the middle?
I don't know, you'll have to find out, and that's another test she'll have to crack on with.
Okay,
But in the
then.
meantime, I want to have a play, yeah, and I want to see if I can, find a better way of blending these greens in, yeah, more systematically.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
we
so,
have a pile. Oh,
yeah.
amazing.
I've got, that hasn't been brushed, has it?
No, that's a brush pile.
Okay. So I've got these spots, and I need to just start brushing them. Yeah, quick little blasts, spread it out. Water is the trick. Right, okay, so I'm not even using water and Kat's saying water is the trick. Right, so, yeah, let's go down here.
Where's my comb?
Go on, you got it?
Oh wait, my comb is over there.
Go on then. Right, let's do it again. Now it'd be easier to actually brush on a larger sheet. Small squares are a bit more difficult.
Yeah. It is working.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
That seems to be the better way of spreading it about. Sort of jiggy it backwards and forwards, rather than just simple long lines. Right. Now, Kat says water is the trick. I'll tell you what, if I've got to do a battle mat like this, it's going to take forever and it's going to knacker me.
I'll help.
Even with your help, my love. So, yeah, putting it on spots, you do get better coverage building it up. But water is supposedly the trick, so let's get a little bit of water.
Do you want me to go
Yeah.
down and fetch some?
Now, the question is, how much water? So let's mix that up. Thin that down. Yeah, and try again.
Okay, this doesn't work.
Okay, so yeah, combing it in doesn't work. So that bit's slightly more watered down. Let's give this a brush.
Does look a bit better.
Spreading better, in all honesty. A lot better. Have you added more water to that? Have you just added more water to that?
Tiny drop on a bit that was dry.
Okay. Because, you know, Dad's trying to keep this as like an experiment here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm experimenting what more water would do.
Yeah, that's actually much better coverage. Not just that, it seems to have faded out the clumps a bit better, and it's getting down to the base better. Still a lot of work. So, to give you a quick idea...
Dad.
1 second, darling, let me... Go on, crack on. How many of these are you going through?
Didn't actually know.
Do you want to slow down? Because I've only got one more test sheet.
No, these are the test sheets.
Right, we'll leave them alone for a time being, eh? Right, guys, just to show you where we are. Yeah? Now, do you see the spottiness of this side? That was the raw acrylic. As we've added in a bit of water, yeah, you can see that it's broken it up and allowed it to spread a lot more and a lot nicer. David's saying, Mel, you should do a series called Terrain Tryouts. Like ideas you're trying out that don't go to plan and end up being something completely different. Well, I think to be perfectly honest, that's a bit like our terrain labs. Because they're pretty much just throw it at something and see what sticks. Right, let's thin this down even more. And see what this does. Well, that's really thinner.
That looks too thin.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Big, thick green hair.
Big, thick green hair. See, it's spreading, but I don't know how watered down it is because you've been messing.
3 times.
3 times. Right, let me wrap this one up. So we've been messing around with the applications, and on this piece, let me spin it round here. What we did first was we came in with a couple of drops. Yeah. Right. Let me record this, darling. Let me record this.
Okay.
Calm. Right, we started off and we're testing out our different sort of applications. Now here we've put little bits of spots and we've tried to brush them through. And what we've ended up is something very patchy, almost leopard spotted. Okay, when we started to add water into the paint, things got a lot better coverage, as you can see. See how even it is compared to spotted there. And then moving to even more water here. Not quite sure on this one yet. Think we're still going to have a bit more of a play, to be truthful. But adding water definitely does help carry the paint through. Yeah, we just need to find what the right balance and how watered down it needs to be. So that's where we are right now. All right. Pause that for a second. Very nice, Willow.
It says Mel.
Wills, these are supposed to be terrain tests.
I know. I just like creating paint patterns as well.
Right, well in which case, from now on, paint them on there. Yeah, you can't keep going through my materials, darling.
That's fine.
I've had to pay money for these, and if I run out, I can't do what I need to do. So stop getting crazy. Quick check of the old paper, make sure I'm not missing anyone. Don't think I am, but don't think I am. Oh, Mike N sent a couple of nuggets. Thank you, buddy. We are 17 nuggets away from our dies, which is the last sort of challenge that we need to get for this. So thank you, mate. Right, watering it down even more. Right, let's try it a bit more watered down, eh? Right, da-da. Let's really water it down. Let's see what we can do with this one. Right, have I got a combed piece? Is this combed?
Yeah. All is combed. The one there isn't.
Alright. Right, so try again with this piece. Yeah, so that's very all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, let's see how that spreads. I wonder if wetting the teddy bear fur, I mean that's spreading pretty well.
But wetting it, wouldn't that do more?
I don't know. Should we find out in a second?
Yeah.
And we're still getting patches and clumps showing up where we're putting it down. But wetting it definitely helps get it on there and spread it about. That's for sure. What are you doing? You're ripping it out of the fur there. You're not combing it. You're like Dad doing your hair.
Yeah, every morning.
Yeah, because you don't.
Apply it to the base, not the top.
What?
Cat's mad at us.
Apply it to the base. You're going to have to explain that one to me, Catherine.
Wait, the base of the fur, not the top of it when you put on the paint.
Right, so what? Apply the water
to the teddy bear fur.
Alright, well let's give that a go. Rub that through there. What, see if this works as a carrier?
I don't know.
Well, let's see. Let's give it a bit of a soak. Because it should help carry the paint through. Yeah. So, we get our paint. Yeah.
Looks like it'll carry through good.
Yeah.
That does carry through good.
I'm not sure. You got to keep brushing it. Takes a few brushes. Right. Separate the fur with your fingers and drop it in between. Okay. Alright, let's see how this affects. Ooh, that's nice.
Does it work?
I haven't tried Cat's thing yet. Right.
Cat's thing was applying it to the base.
Right. May you record. So, still messing around with applying paint to it. One of the suggestions from the live chat, because we're doing this live, was to thin the paint down a bit. So we've added water on and we've got a much better coverage on it, to be perfectly honest, and it's spread a lot better with it being thinned down. Roughly 50-50 water to paint. Now, one of the things that we did try was applying water onto the base, onto the material first, and then giving it a brush. Yeah. What we've ended up with is that. Now,
I like it better.
Do you like it better, do you?
Yeah.
It does have that feel of what you call it, of sort of like, I think with it being wet, what we need to do is we need to wait till it dries and give it a brush then and see how it looks then.
And then hair dry it, because when you hair dry it, it goes fluffy like my hair.
True, true. It's not like I have a hairdryer that often, is it? Right, I think what we're going to do is we're going to put that up, okay, and we'll see how it comes out when it dries. Right. Okay, folks, I raised 6 boys and learnt when it was better just to walk away. Thanks, Kat. Have a great time at work, darling. Right. Next job, colour my roots. I've got to colour my roots.
You don't have hair roots.
Right, let's add a bit more acrylic because once again, Willow's used all of it.
I'm trying to dye something here.
Yeah.
Diluting.
Thinning.
Diluting.
I think they're much the same, to be truthful. Right, apparently we've got to separate it and apply it onto the base.
Dad.
Not bad, darling. Not bad at all. What are you trying to achieve?
Don't actually know.
Well, it would help if you knew what you were trying to achieve.
I don't know. You never told me what we were trying to achieve.
Well, I told you to brush. And you took it on yourself to... Right. Okay. Now, is that too thin? It does spread better if you apply it into the base. But it takes more effort to spread it out. Yeah. So yeah, that is a better coverage. Ah, great. Guys, make sure you tip Mel. He gives us so much for fir trees. Thank you, Skunk.
Wait, we're making trees?
Yeah. Norman's saying, geez, Willow, leave some for your dad. I know. Her patches will become test patches, no doubt.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's better coverage. Let's try some more. Water it down even more. Let's see what we can do with it. See if really watering it down makes a difference.
Really watering it down will saturate the colour.
No, saturation is something different, darling.
Dilute the colour, I mean.
Yes, that's what it will do. So I'm going with a much watered down piece now. Let's see how this comes out. Yeah. Almost seems like it's harder to brush through. It's probably just me getting tired.
Yeah.
Applying it into the base and brushing it out definitely does give better coverage. Yeah? Less of the patches as well. See how we... Right, so if you see how you can still see patches? Yeah, whereas where if we thinned it down with water, yeah, it's a lot better. So, with that in mind, yeah, that's very nice, Willow. With that in mind, Willsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just very quickly film this. So with this piece, yeah, we've been trying to work out the depth. Now, previously we were applying the paint to the top surface, yeah. Kat on the live stream suggested that we do it to the bottom, and as you can see, all I did was I separated the fur and pushed the paint right in there. Now, where we use quite thick paint, we got spots and we still have those tonal spots. But where we thinned the paint and did it, we got much better coverage with much less spotting. So I'm quite impressed with that. But one of the things that I'm wondering is, if it's a matter of we have a concentration of paint in an area that we're having to brush out, well, what about if we apply it with an airbrush? Yeah, over a broad area. So it's already roughly spread out. So we're not moving the paint from a paint spot outwards. We've just got a general covering of paint over it. So I think that needs to be the next experiment.
Airbrush?
Yes. So, are you sure this one's been brushed?
Yeah.
You sure?
You may have to do it again. I'm not like good at it, but...
May have to do it again. It'll be his forever, Matt. Damn, that's awful. Question, what was your worst project experiment gone sideways that you had to start over completely?
Dad.
Probably acrylic caulking when we did the original test. Some of those pieces warped like crazy. Yes, darling?
I have my submission for that question.
Go on then.
The lighthouse when we failed with the water.
We didn't fail with the water.
We did.
No, we didn't. It was better than anyone else in your class produced. Right, so let's brush it up like that. Right, so airbrushing. We're entering a whole new territory here, Wills.
A whole new world.
Just before we do airbrushing.
Oh no.
Come on, pop.
Are you done?
Very nice. Right, priming is definitely not the way to go.
Doesn't look like it either.
No, it doesn't, does it? It's really sticky and tacky as well. Ugh, I'm going to need a comb to get the hair out of my brush.
Here you go. Let me help you.
Can you decomb my brush?
Gladly.
No. Aerosols I'm not impressed with unless I can find more information. How long do you spray fur to be ready? I just give it a exploding green spray paint. Oh really? Are you making teddy bear fur jokes? Right. Now I've only got one more sheet left. Yeah. Unless you want to brush through that. Oh, well done. Thanks, Wills.
Welcome.
It's rather... And it's tangled it as well. No, I'm not impressed with that. Right. Let's go for an airbrush. You know what this means, don't you?
What does it mean?
It means we're going to have to clean the airbrush. And there I was thinking I'd get through a session without having to water paint 50/50 hand spray bottle. Okay, let's give that a go. I'll use an airbrush though. Is that a new one or is...
No, this is the one that I've always been doing.
Is that the M1?
No, the new one's there.
Right.
This is the one that I did after it that you told me to stop doing anymore.
Right, okay, got you.
The one that I've showed like 2 times already.
Right, now I need to mix up some right.
Oh, over my eye, do it.
No chance. Not this, darling. This one's a daddy job. We're going to have a lot of clean-up after this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, you made the mess, so I ain't cleaning it.
Oh, right. Okay, thanks for that, Wills.
Welcome.
Right, so let's go 50-50. Acrylic and water.
So you need to mix.
I will. No, I'll use a brush, darling. Thank you anyway.
You're welcome. This has actually come on pretty good, hasn't it?
It has. Look at the state of you.
Look at my face.
We'll give you a clean. A for real. The chat on this stream is my favourite. Oh, really, guys? Come on. There's bad and then there's that.
Yeah, it's better than bad. You're doing good.
Seen the state of us. Right. Let's give another one a go. Oh. Was this one brushed through?
I don't know.
Really not? You lied.
I said I don't know.
Right. Oh, Matt, so I've made, after using acrylics for the main colours, I've used rattle cran primers to add different tones to some areas. Do you find any stiffness with adding rattle can primers? Right, so let's give this a go.
That does look pretty good.
That emptied quick, didn't it?
But will it be easier to brush?
Well, that's the idea. Let's get a good saturation on there. And then let's give it a go. Brush. Alright. It's going through, but it doesn't have the... I'm not sure yet. It doesn't have the penetration that it had when we soaked it to the base.
What does penetration mean?
How it gets into something.
Just for the little ones out there who don't understand.
That's not bad, but it hasn't got the strength of the previous colours. Let's try it even harder. Try brushing that through. Yeah, once again, it's not got the penetration. Although, there's a coat. Look at that. Right. So, use an airbrush. Much better coverage. Doesn't get the penetration down inside it, but it is a much smoother coverage across the piece. definitely well worth looking at. What?
Now I'm trying to get my hair out my face.
I think Mel is getting furious about the fur jokes because they will be forever stuck in his head. Guys, they're bad. They're just bad. Fur does get stiffer, but spray from a distance
Guys, I love them. Keep them up.
Stops it getting clumpy and helps it stand up as opposed to laying flat. Right, okay. Mel, where did you get your airbrush from? Amazon, I think. Right, so airbrushing is a good way of applying it.
May I just say a quick word to them?
Go on then, you say your quick word.
Keep up the jokes. He doesn't know.
Thanks, Wills. Thanks,
welcome.
Wills. Right.
Because they will be stuck in his head forever.
Oh, God. So we need to talk through the airbrushing one, don't we, for the video? So on this one I've tried a different way of applying it. I tried it with an airbrush. Okay, 50-50 mix of acrylic paint and water. Sprayed it down and we've got a much more even covering over it, as you can see. Yeah, but it hasn't got the penetration to sort of change the colour down below. Yeah, which sort of, we need to get that penetration in there. So I think the idea of separating the fibres.
Don't these two look the same?
A little. Yeah, to sort of get that really deep colour in there. Actually, that's actually quite interesting. Because after I've separated the fibres and gone in and dropped it in, because it's already wet and it's already got paint on it, that is dragging out really well. Okay, so to achieve that, what did we do? We sprayed it with airbrush 50-50. Yeah. Then afterwards, while it was still damp, we came in, we separated the fibres, we put paint in between the fibres and spread them out.
Why does Kat know so much about teddy bear fur?
She works with materials. She's I don't know what she does, but she does a lot of work with materials, so she knows them. Right, so as you can see, by doing that, yeah, well, what do you call it? We get far better results. Oh. Right, by doing that, yeah, as you can see, we get quite a reasonably good coverage. So I think that's worth exploring. I think the next stage is I need to go away, do a little bit more research, see how my pieces compare to other pieces on the web, and then we'll take it from there. So I'll see you in a flash, guys. Oops. Right. Take those and your hands.
Yes.
Go downstairs, take those.
What? Okay then.
Yeah. Go to the sinks, clean them all up.
I can't open the door.
I'll open the door for you. Willow, you're going to drop that.
I'm a smart girl.
That's debatable. Trying to work with kids. I do love her dearly, but whoa. Right, I need to clean my airbrush. Hey buddy, how's it going? I'm getting there, mate, I'm getting. Right, let's get rid of that. Yeah, then we need to clean that out. This is very messy. Now, I think what you call it, I'm going to have a bit more of a play. That's a good way of getting a good distribution. But it still comes with problems, so to speak. Very quickly, clean off the needle. Wow, that's gunky. Don't you hate it when you use your airbrush for like 2 seconds and then you have to spend ages cleaning it afterwards? Put that in there. Push that through. Clean that off. Eek, you mucky pup. Right. As clean needs to be. Just decompress it. Right. So of all of them, that's the one that's got the most best coverage. But I'm still not 100% sold. To be perfectly honest. Look at the state of me. Where's my cloth? Right. Oh. Right. Clean my hands off. Right, very quickly. Just disconnect that. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. Oh, we've had another one by the looks of it. Talk J. Thought I'd already had the notification for that. Let me just check. Oh, there's been a couple more. No, Mike M was the last one. So, guys, yeah, for you two guys who have thrown a couple of nuggets, thank you. I'll put it towards the dies. And in the meantime, I'm going to get cracked on with this sort of stuff. Ah. Panda, ammonia. Oh, God. Why use paint versus closed dies? Paint are the first options. It's what a lot of people recommend. And so I'm exploring them all. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. Yeah, work through the lot, figure out what works. Inks, dyes are next. Dyes are next. I'll have a look at inks afterwards, but I think inks are just going to be too strong to achieve what we need them to achieve. Do you know what I mean? Right, I better hold on, because if I end this show before Willow gets back, she's going to be gutted. Yeah, but total devastation in the studio. Right. So guys, to let you know, there's a bit of a shout out video coming on Saturday. The Great Wargaming Survey has started, so I'm giving that a bit of a shout out. Next week, okay, next Tuesday, you'll have volcanic rock from me, and I've been playing around with a bit of lava as well for you to enjoy. But I think, because I need to go find out where she's disappeared to, because it shouldn't take this long to clean up. So I'm going to call it, guys. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed the past sort of hour and 15. We will continue learning, yeah, and with everything. I'll get this nailed, and then I'll be back to share what I've learned with you guys. Yeah. In the meantime, yeah, I will see you Sunday night. All the best, yeah. Ta-da. Insane, that's awful.